Well, I mean, you interviewed YNW Melly at one point. He's still sitting in prison.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the case even started yet.
I think COVID shit pushed it back like crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was that interview?
That interview was not good. That was it was a weird one. Like, you know, he's a person, you know, he always would talk about the two sides of his personality, Melly and Melvin or whatever. I mean, I think I only kicked it with him 2 times in person. And the first time was in the studio and we just hung out and he was a huge ball of energy. Like he was having some drinks. He wasn't smoking or nothing, but he was just having some Hennessy. And he was just so much fun, like such an interesting person, talking to me about his music so much, like recording. Crazy watching him record. Like the way he recorded was just unbelievable. Like and was just a huge ball of light. And then I interview him a couple months later and he comes in with a completely different energy. And I don't know if it was necessarily because he had seen a lot in the industry, even just in his few months at that point, or if it was just, you know, that was his day, you know, like certain people, a lot of great artists, like you'll catch them one day and they'll be super excited, super up, and then you'll catch them another day and they'll just be like so low key, like fucking, I saw you interview Sosa Geek.
Mm-hmm.
I got the leaned out Sosa Geek. I was watching interviews before that on like random ass New York radio shit, and they had the up Sosa Geek. Like he was full of energy. I got the Sosa Geek. You never know sometimes. But with Melly, that was a good one. But no, it was good to get it in, to have the conversation and stuff. The one thing that went viral after he got his case was the fact that he was talking about how I was saying how I wouldn't get somebody's name tattooed on my face unless they had died. And then he's talking about his boys who were sitting right there. I didn't realize until after they passed that they were sitting right there. But he's talking about how he had them tattooed on his face. And then ironically, they're dead like a year later.
Oh, and is he being charged with killing those guys?
Those are the dudes, yeah, who were with him during the interview.
Not to say that he did it.
Right.
Because, you know, with us, we got to be careful about this type of thing. Not to say that he did it.
I'm not saying he did it, but
not saying he did
Chaser and Juvie were sitting
but
right there.
He's being charged with doing it. Yeah, man, it's eerie. It's eerie when you interview or you talk to people who end up passing shortly afterwards. We had an interview with G Money.
Who they just...
We didn't have an interview. We had an interview scheduled, with G Money for like the next week.
Right.
And he ends up getting killed. Like literally right before our interview. They ended up, I guess, charging the guy who allegedly did it recently.
Today, years later. Was it 3 years ago or some shit?
Yeah. NBA YoungBoy affiliate.
Yeah.
Not to say he did it either, but this is what he's being charged with. You know, Pop Smoke, I talked to a couple days before, you know, we were talking about doing it the next week. You know, we've interviewed people like Frank Collado who died afterwards. You know, Mo3, who we both interviewed, who ended up getting killed. And, you know, to me, the eeriest part, because people kept tagging me with this, I was talking to him about using security. He goes, nah, I don't really need security, you know. In Dallas, you know, ain't no one chasing me down.
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm wearing my security. I pay for this motherfucking necklace. I'm wearing this bitch.
Okay. I mean, do you have actual security with you when you walk around?
No, I just got good friends, man. We are good friends, and you know, I got my homeboys with me. You know, security sometimes is with me with the shows and stuff. You know, when the promoter book me, you know, they got their own security. You know, that accommodate me and shit. Shout out to them. You know, but other than that, like, I ain't worried about none of that, Vlad. So, you know, I ain't got no security. I'm not out here, nobody chasing me down, trying to do nothing to me. So I ain't worried about none of that.
And it's like someone literally chased him down.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was in Dallas, and by the way, RIP G Money, and shout out to Fredo Bang. That's one of my favorite people in the industry, and I know that was like, you know, defining moment in his career. Like that's the person who put him on.
Yeah.
But I was in Dallas when there was a big show with Yella Beezy was playing and Mo3 was supposed to be there. It was a Juice WRLD show, and like Yella Beezy and a few other people were like the openers. And there was actually like a clip that went viral of Mo3 getting arrested trying to enter the venue, you know, because Yella Beezy's like, they were supposed to have issues. So I don't know who told the venue security not to let Mo3 in or whatever. But I would have seen him again about a year ago after we did, or about a year ago, but before that we did the interview. And yeah, Mo3, man, that was a cool dude. And I actually got to see like a interesting side of him when we did the interview, because he did the interview, and then Dolph and Key Glock were coming right after to do their interview. And I told him that, and he's like, yo, like, is it cool if I stick around? Like, I just want to meet Dolph real quick. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And it was just like cool to see him as a fan and shit too, because he clearly had so much respect for Dolph and just like wanted to say hi and meet him and all that shit. And I don't know, when I heard that he got killed, that was a huge bummer, because Mo3 was stupid talented, and he was just like a really good, warm individual, you know?